Hey everyone, what is going on? Today I'm putting a GoPro remote into the Stratus. I will leave a link in the description of where you can find the GoPro remote. If you don't know what it is, basically it is a push button so that you can operate your camera to record and stop from your driver's seat, and you can mount it anywhere in the car. So we're not in the garage yet, but I'm going to show you basically how it works. This is the GoPro I have. It's a Hero, like version 1. It's good enough for me. It still records in decent quality, and it's rechargeable, works just fine. This is my housing that I normally use. It's just a suction mount, and it goes, I kind of mount it on the windshield as close to center as I can. And this is the GoPro remote. So basically, as you can see here, there is a ton of cable, so you can run it anywhere in your car, and then it plugs into the back. To use the remote, well, for this one anyway, this was the directions, is you have to have the camera set up to record once you start it. So once you push it, it comes on, instantly starts recording, and shuts off. So it has to be set up like that for this remote to work. So what you're going to have to do, see if I can do this left-handed, is I'll show you how the remote works. Plugs in here. Alright, so once you got your remote plugged in, basically you'll come down here to your button, wherever you have it mounted, and when you push it, see, it started recording. Hold it in, shuts off. So basically now this button here is on a remote. So now we have to first modify our case so that the remote can plug into it. Alright, so now that I'm in the garage, we have the GoPro here. We're going to have to take the back door and trim it so that we can get to that hole. Now, I have an open back. I want to save my sealed one as much as I can. And as you can see, that's going to take up a decent amount of space. But I think what I'm going to do is first I'm going to trim out as much plastic around the rubber on this side as I can. Kind of cut it up here, down here, and cut across here. I don't know how stable this will be once this is removed. So really not sure the best way to cut a hole in this plastic, so we're going to try Dremel with a bit. Alright, so it's kind of rough cut. I'll clean it up later, but for now, let's make sure the plug fits. Plug fits in there nice and snug like it's supposed to. And the GoPro does not really move around at all in here. So even though we cut out all this support, it doesn't rattle. Before, that was the suction cup rattling. But yeah. No rattle, it's not moving around. So now we can take the remote and mount it in the car. Alright, so I'm fully strapped into my car how I normally am when I'm autocrossing. So let's say I want to turn on my GoPro. I can't really reach the front of it. So what I normally do is I can just barely reach this. I can unstrap it, turn it on, put it back up, hope that it's straight, and be good. Or another thing I can do is I can be unbuckled, get all the way up, feel around for the button, turn it off. And that is the closest I normally mount it to me. So with the remote, what I can do is I can take it, and I got a little hole here in the dash from when I had a wideband LED in there, and I can fit it in that hole, and I can reach this little button right here to turn the remote on and off. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the remote in here, run the wire up the A-pillar, and then above the, I'm going to run the wire across the top, and I can plug it in here. I'm going to leave some slack and kind of wrap it around however I can, the visor, so that way I can move this around a little bit and still be able to use the plug. That used to be my scan gauge, which used to be right there. And the plastic mount completely cracked while I was trying to pull the dash off, so I could drill and put the button in for the remote. So I guess what my plan is going to be is I'm going to remove this. I'm going to get a new steering column plastic. I'm going to take this nitrous gauge, move it over here. I don't really need volt. And I'm going to get an electronic oil gauge that matches this. It's a glow shift. And I'll just put those over here and clean this off so it's all empty. But yeah, let's get back with the install here. So basically what I did is I took a properly sized drill, and I already had a hole here because I used to have a air fuel gauge. I used to have a wideband, and so I put it here. The button's short enough that it wasn't in the way of the vent or anything. And then I ran it up along here. Right now it's just kind of sitting here. I got to find some zip ties. I'm going to zip tie it to the harness here. I don't know if you can see that, it's not really focusing. But I'm going to zip tie it to the harness to where it's about center. And as you can see, I mean, I could go out the passenger window with how much is left. But the plan is once this is all secured up here, I'm going to leave what's left just kind of tucked up in the visor area somehow of the excess. So I got it plugged in. You know, I could loop the excess up out of the way, tuck it up all up in the visor, and now I can just come over here while I'm sitting ready to stage or whatever. There we have it. Now, whoop, hit the windshield. It is on, and then I hit it again, and it shuts off. So I got to find some zip ties. I don't think I really have any that'll work, and kind of secure it up here along this harness for the lights and stuff, and just kind of go from there. These stupid clips keep coming off. So to keep it out of the way whenever I'm not using it, I just kind of wrapped it up, put it around the clip, and locked this back on. So that way it's not hanging down and stuff, and that way I can shorten it. You know, it's all the way out of the way. Everything's gone, and I got my little button right here, right next to my turn signals and my headlight, and it's nice and out of the way. So obviously next I'm going to be, like I said, I got to fix this and get a new oil gauge. So I hope you guys liked the video. Really quick install, and I'm sure you don't have to go through the full extent of tucking the wire and stuff depending on your setup. If you got like a cage, you could probably just zip tie it along your cage and put the button right near your shifter or something like that. But it's definitely nice. I'll leave the link down below to GoPro Remote's Instagram, and you can get your own if you want it. It works for a bunch of GoPros. Mine's a Hero 1, like I said in the beginning. It works for a bunch of them. They have them all listed. So hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe. Till next time.